here for the show tonight to interview our special guest. Show highlight the Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, boxing, tennis, golf, and racing. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Tune in for all the news and scores, reporting on the games and so much more. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show.
Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of the Alford Sports Talk Show. I'm Alan, and we are in for a fantastic night. We're going to have a great time. Back when we go through that music ball. Hey, this is live. This is live and in action. Things happen. It is what it is. It's okay. Glad you guys could join us here tonight. And definitely the live chat is available. We're going to go ahead and have some great topics tonight. A lot to discuss, a lot to unpack, and a lot more here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. And yes, man, I have to say, it is really, really, truly a blessing to have this show in so many ways. And today was another example of it. I'm going to go into what I'm talking about, and that is because of this awesome event called Ya by the Bay here at the Tampa Convention Center. Shout out to Linda Hurtado from Fox News 13. And, you know, the thing about this event, it was just something that was just, magnificent. Definitely shout out not only to Linda Hurtado for Fox 13 News, but I also gotta give Ya by the Bay a lot of props, because this thing here, it was amazing in so many ways, so many facets. Let me go ahead and just respond to this real quick, and I'm going to get more into it for you. Definitely want to thank also Sorbani Banerjee, also the founder, one of the founders there of Ya by the Bay, for the hospitality as well. And the event itself, you know, it's different name, Ya by the Bay. It's a storytelling festival where authors get together. The Fox 13 was there, as well as vendors, high school students. It's a multi-day event, Thursday and Friday at the convention center. I didn't know anything about it until Linda Hurtado reached out to me and told me about the event and explained to me what it's about. And all different authors from all walks of life are there. They can actually talk about what they specialize in. They can sign books, give you insight. And you're not only it's kind of broken up to different events. There's the day event where the high school students come in, and then there's more of the adult events where more adults could come in and buy books, buy things from different vendors. Get food. It's really a festival, but an awesome festival indeed. And what was my duties here because of the Alford Sports Talk Show was to talk about podcasting, about my journey, some of the good, the bad, and ugly, everything. My life experience of being a sports podcaster and educate the kids. Also do a live podcast there. And man, I thought it was going to be awesome. It was even 10 times more awesome than I thought, because the thing about it is I got a chance to engage with a lot of students. A lot of the students interviewed me. I, you know, if you follow the show, you know that I'm at 506 as far as interviews I've done. But man, I didn't count any of those interviews that the kids did on me because they did a lot. I was getting asked actually some very, very good questions. And I was encouraged about this event because some of them want to start sports podcasts, but not all did. I was encouraged because you know what? Today was a day that I got a chance to really feel that our youth has a chance. Our youth has a chance, folks, because the kids, they were very smart. Not only that, these were not all gifted students. I did ask about that. I was wondering if, you had to be, because normally this is not the first time I've spoken to high school students, but typically when I get a chance to speak to high school students, it's usually like the A students, the cream of the crop, high GPA only type students. No, I got a chance to speak to just about everybody. Someone who's a great student, not so great, someone who's, I even got a chance to speak to some kids that got left back. But you know what? It was encouraging because of the ideas and the thoughts that the youngins had. You had girls who wanted to start their own podcast on women empowerment. They wanted to start on sports. They wanted to start it on mental health, a lot of science, a lot of different various topics. And because of you guys putting me in position to be known in the community through the Alford Sports Talk show, that opportunity came to light. I'm glad and honored to have done it. I was there for both Thursday and Friday at the Tampa Convention Center, and our youth has a chance. Somebody even want to start a political channel too. So, it was a wide array of different things, and it was a safe space where the kids could be candid, and I enjoyed every single moment of it. I really wanted to talk about that start the show with that, because I want to thank Linda Hurtado. Definitely want to thank Sorbani, Banerjee, one of the founders of Ya by the Bay, and just the hospitality. It was also awesome. Want to thank you guys, the fans, because you put me in that position to get that opportunity. So I definitely am honored to have done it. And the kids motivated me too. You know what? The kids motivated me as well as me motivating them. It was like a win-win on both sides, because they encouraged me to go ahead and continue, but also, hey, there's some projects I'm not going to mention to you right now that I want to get involved in and want to do, because, hey, this opportunities today, it might come again. The great thing about experience is that you can teach somebody something. If you go ahead and step out and do something, whether it's perfect or not, guess what? You can at least educate somebody on what the experience was, worth good and bad. What have you learned from it? What things went great? What things didn't go so great? It was awesome. So Ya by the Bay was an awesome, awesome event. Story Festival. You can check them out. Ya by the Bay on Instagram. You can check out their website, Ya by the Bay. I believe it's ORG, nonprofit organization. But man, at the Tampa Convention Center, our youth has a chance. I was really, really like, and I said this to the kids, and I'm going to say this now to the listening audience and the viewing audience. If you are struggling with mental health, because, that is a big topic, please reach out to me and I will coach you through it. I have a lot of life experience, and I feel like I can help you in a lot of different aspects, and a lot more. So definitely props to all the students, high school students that attended from various high schools, from St. Pete, Tampa, all over. It was an awesome, awesome event. Ya by the Bay at the Tampa Convention Center, Story Festival, first class. Definitely thank you, Fox 13, Linda Hurtado. She's the one who invited me, and also she connected me, yes, with Sorbani Banerjee right there as well. She's one of the founders, I understand, from Ya by the Bay, and that is fantastic. Props, props, props. So let me go ahead and put that up there real quick. and then we're going to get into some NFL for you guys because I know, man, that was awesome. Somebody even asked me. Somebody even asked me about LeBron James versus MJ. We got into that debate there a little bit. Nothing really harsh on each side, but it was a healthy disagreement. That's what it was. So let me go ahead and get into the NFL news here. So a lot going on, and let me let me go ahead and talk to you a little bit about the sports side. So we'll delve into the Eli Manning versus Russell Wilson debate. Do you think, is it more Eli or is it more Russell Wilson right now, who is a Hall of Famer? Wow. And my debate and what I would say is I believe Eli Manning should be and should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. I really do think that's just the way it is. Look, I know a lot of times when you are brother of like a Peyton Manning, people try to compare you to your brother and things of that nature. But when you look at Eli Manning by himself, these are the reasons why I feel as if he should be in a first ballot Hall of Famer. First of all, his stats are actually very, very good. The man did not miss a lot of work throughout his entire body of going to, playing in the NFL. And he's had a few games where he thrown over 4,000 yards for the year. His stats are actually very, very, very good. Just looking at the numbers. Then on top of it, Eli Manning is the only quarterback on the planet that has beaten Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. He has 2 rings, and he's the only person who has beat him. One of those years, if you were forgotten, was when Tom Brady was going to have literally a perfect season throughout the whole entire year. And the reason why he didn't get a perfect season is because he lost to Eli Manning in the Super Bowl, the only game the Patriots lost that year. And then he faced him again, and Eli Manning won again. So 2 rings, his stats, you can look at them yourself and compare them. They are actually very, very, very good. I think people just make this debate and they don't look at his stats. They actually go ahead and just go by how they feel or what they think about him. But you got to look at the stats and, what is your body of work? And I had this talk before on this show, and I went through his stats. And I will tell you, Eli Manning stats are very, very good. He, to me, should have been voted first ballot Hall of Fame. And I think he gets unjustly kind of like, people don't look at it because they're comparing him to Peyton Manning. And that's not what the criteria is when you are going ahead and making it. Let's look at it. He has over 60% completion ratio, over 57,000 yards, 366 touchdowns, 244 interceptions, and games played. He's 16 years in the league. And people look at this. He has 236 wins, 234 losses. But to me, that doesn't tell everything. During this time, there was a couple years where the Jets were good. The Giants were great. But if you look at it, the Giants collectively have not been like great the entire time he was the quarterback. And I know they're going by, he has almost 50%, but that's not all of what the criteria is to make it to the Hall of Fame. You have to look at what has the gentleman done himself. Yes, team aspect is a part of it, but to me, I'm looking at stats right now. They're impressive. The yards. He almost had 5,000 yards In 2011, just a tick shy of it, 67 yards shy. He had 4,000 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times over 4,000 yards. And again, in 2011, he was 67 yards away from 5,000 yards that year. 57,000 plus yards. To me, 2 rings against the GOAT. To me, it's first ballot Hall of Fame. That's just the way it is. First ballot Hall of Famer. There's players in the NFL in the Hall of Fame, quite frankly, who don't have this type of resume, and they're in and he's not. To me, it's unfair. It's unfair. And I think a lot of this is because they're comparing him to Peyton Manning, 2 different personalities, 2 different people. It's 2 brothers. Sterling Sharp, Shannon Sharp, they're 2 different personalities, 2 different people, 2 brothers. Can't mix them up. To me, Eli Manning should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. As far as Russell is concerned, Russell, I have to say, is actually I have to kind of agree with what Tony Gonzalez is saying. He's kind of playing himself out of the Hall of Fame. And I think he was, quite frankly, with his stats, where he was at, I just feel as if he was borderline anyway. I really do. But I think it's even worse. And I think it's getting a lot worse for Russell in his case of making it. And yes, and one other thing, I just think that Russell, because of what has happened recently and how people are going to remember you, I do think his Hall of Fame stock is dropping. I still do believe, though, let me be clear, that Eli Manning is more deserving of the Hall of Fame right now than Russell Wilson. And I feel as if that was the case even before the last season or 2 from Russell. I just feel as if Eli Manning, his stats are just great. I feel like with Russell Wilson, since he lost that Super Bowl, which they should have won, they should have handed the ball off to beast mode and ran the ball in. That was the worst call in Super Bowl history to me, by not handing the ball off and giving it to beast mode with 2 timeouts. No doubt about it, the worst call in Super Bowl history. Having said that, since the Seahawks have lost that Super Bowl, it has been, in my view, a downward slide for Russell Wilson since that moment in his career. There's been time where it's been like a steep decline, and there's been time where it's been like a decline like this, but it's been a decline since that moment in time. This gentleman should have had 2 rings right in the early part of his career. He did not get that second ring and has been on a decline, kind of like, an airplane that kind of like doing like this, then it kind of finds a little footing, does a little bit, but it's still going downward. It's been downward, unfortunately, for Russell. And this goes back to leadership qualities. So, yes, those things are hurting Russell Wilson. Those things are hurting him. And that's the thing. And I just think that Russell right now, unfortunately, is not a Hall of Famer, but Eli is. Let's see what else we got here. The Yanks are back in the playoffs. I definitely do think the Yankees, let me just change this here, have a good chance in the playoffs this year. I still do think if they had to play against the Dodgers, I don't know if they would come out winning that series, but they'd have to make it to the World Series first. But the great news is, here at the Alford Sports Talk Show, we are going to be calling the Yanks playoff games. That's right. With the CIS Live, CIS Sports, we are going to be calling the Major League Baseball games here on the Alford Sports Talk Show for the Yankees in the postseason. We're going to go ahead and do that for you guys. And as long as there's no schedule conflict, if there is, I'll let you know. But that's the goal, is to go ahead and broadcast the Yankees postseason games here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk show. So definitely stay tuned for that as well. And let's see here. All right, we're going to go ahead and discuss a couple of things here. Yes. So let me just take a look here and respond to somebody else's chat. Let me just see here. Let me pull that up for you guys. You guys are awesome, man. Really appreciate you. Let me just see. Just chat here. Okay. Let me see here. Give me one moment, guys. Okay, 1 second. All right. So, yes, the other news here I want to discuss here is boxing news. Is Jake Paul good for boxing? He absolutely, positively is good for boxing. And the reason being, because he brings a lot of eyes to the sports. He is giving people opportunities. You know, like Gervonta Davis, he really didn't want to fight some of the top competitors at this point in his career. Let's just call for what it is. Tank Davis did not want to fight some of the top tier guys in the boxing arena at this point. Let's just call for what it is. He wanted a payday. And he found one with Jake Paul. And if you want some advertisement, you want some money, and also, he is bringing some attention to some of the female boxers as well, getting underneath their undercard. So, yes, I do think the man is very good for boxing. He brings a lot of eyes to it. He is fighting, a professional boxer. He is fighting Tank Davis. I know they're not in the same weight class, but Tank Davis agreed to it. He agreed to it. Not only that, there's a lot of other boxers that would want to fight Jake. So, you know what? It is what it is. The things that I think is hurting boxing the most, I said it here on the show before. Number one is the shadiness with the judges. It's been that way for years. The corruption with that is just ridiculous. You can watch a fight and clearly see who won the fight. But when it's the judges, I don't know if they're looking at another fight. They're looking at another screen. What I think they're looking at is their pocket. They're looking at their wallet, and they're looking at their bank account while they're, looking up at the fight, because they're judging based on rematches and getting paid, not the actual fight. I'm convinced of that. Whether it's a mega fight like Crawford, even in that fight almost got, they were going to give it to Canelo to get a draw. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to play it up so Canelo would have gotten a draw, and they would have done that rematch all over again for another $100+ million. That's what they were trying to force on that night, because there's no way you're going to tell me it's 115 to 113 in that fight. Canelo at the most, and I like Canelo, I do, but at the most he won. You can give him 3 rounds in that fight. I agree with unanimously. People said the same thing. The most you can give Canelo is 3 rounds, and even Canelo fans said that. 115 to 113. It's really smart and really, really clever on Crawford's, on his corner, to say, hey, Terrence, they gave this round to Canelo. You clearly won, but they gave it to him. If I were you, I would try to close the show and make it so it's not even going in their hands. And that's why he went toe-to-toe, stood in a ring with Canelo. The reason why Canelo wasn't really doing much, and what a lot of people said, and even they said it at the Yab by the Bay, is because Crawford, as I mentioned before the fight, Crawford is just too quick and he has a lot more pop in his punches than people think. He negated his offense. It's kind of like what could potentially happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's look at it for what happened last year when the Yankees were in the postseason. Aaron Judge can hit home runs, no doubt. But in the postseason, we've seen he's struggled there. And the reason being is because pitchers, they have ultra good scouting reports and they're pitching you extremely hard and their focus is up here to get you out in the postseason. They're trying to negate your offense. And that's what Crawford did with his speed, his quickness. And I said it was going to happen like that. His ring generalship, he's not going to just stand there and just let you hit him, being Crawford. He's not going to just stand there like he's a punching bag and let you hit him. He's going to be elusive and move. And not only that, he's going to hit you with 2 or 3 punches before you can counter with yours. That's what made Canelo hesitant to throw a punch because he's like, man, if I throw a punch, he will hit me with 2 or 3 back. So he did throw some, but he was very selective in his punches because he knew that there was some coming back. So, yes. The thing about it is, it wasn't that Canelo wasn't throwing punches. His offense was being negated. And that's the reason why Crawford won the fight. I predicted the fight to a T of what's going to happen on that fight. And Crawford didn't want to throw as much because he was getting hit. And that's not just Canelo. That's usually what a lot of boxers, when you have somebody who takes away your offense, you don't have anything else to do because even Canelo said it. He said himself after the fight, I couldn't figure it out. And he's right. He couldn't figure him out. Terrence Crawford is special. He couldn't figure out, is he hitting me with the left? Is he hitting me with the right? He was just too elusive. And he took away his offense. So definitely, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. We're going to have a little bit shorter show today than normal just because something unexpected came up. But no worries. I will be back again next Friday, 8:30 p.m. CST, 9:30 p.m. EST. Want to definitely thank my man, Sam Scola Songs. Thank you, Sam Scola Songs, for the music. You are the man. Really appreciate you. Definitely, you guys, there he is, Sam Scola Songs. And let me just go ahead and pull up here. All of these songs that you hear tonight are available on YouTube and Spotify. And guess what? That's his email, singalongwithsam@gmail.com. Singalongwithsam@gmail.com. Those are for deals, not for spam. If you have a good deal for him, contract, record deal, reach out to him at singalongwithsam@gmail.com. No spam. Don't spam Sam. Deals. So really appreciate Sam Scola Songs. Appreciate you guys too. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate all the support. Thank you so much for watching another great episode of the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. I will be back again next Friday, 9:30 p.m. EST, 8:30 p.m. CST. It's going to be awesome again. Thank you so much. You guys are fantastic. Really appreciate you, and I'll be back.
It's the end of the show. Let's thank all the fans before we go. It's the end of the show. The Allen Sports Talk Radio Show. Thanking our special